Welcome back, everybody. Now we have a breakfast table alert. We're going to get a little CSI on a cold case story, but we won't belabor anything. We'll also mention Senator Shelby and the flat tax and raising the tobacco and vape age. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Back in 1997, a headless body was found in Union Grove, Alabama. The body had decomposed by the time it was found, and extremities had been removed, including the aforementioned head. However, AL.com's William Thornton reports that now Marshall County investigators, without any additional anatomical discoveries, have a sketch of the man's face. Crazy, right? Well, the local authorities used a company that uses DNA sequencing and analysis to try to predict the victim's physical appearance and ancestry. Parabon Nanolabs out of Virginia believes this about the man. He was between 20 and 28 years old. He was of North European ancestry, likely with light to fair complexion, blue eyes, brownish blonde hair, and some freckles. And they even generated the sketch. Of course, law enforcement is hoping to be able to use the information to identify the man and maybe even figure out what happened to him and who might have had a hand in it. Now, I'm just a fellow's voice, and I don't know much about the science or usefulness of DNA sequencing to make a sketch of a face, but I will say it looks a lot more realistic than the Crichton leprechaun. Some of y'all might have to Google that. Flat tax advocates in Alabama will have an ally in Washington at least as long as U.S. Senator Richard Shelby is in office, which is expected to be through 2022. AL.com's Lita Gore reports that Shelby has again introduced a flat tax, the SMART Act, Simplified, Manageable, and Responsible Tax, SMART, you get that. All income would be taxed at 17%. Minus personal exemptions, such as $14,590 for a single person, $29,190 for a married couple, and $62,90 for each dependent. Now, what's smart about the SMART tax is a lot of people just filed as recently as Monday, so they either went through the process themselves or had to pay somebody to do it. Shelby, quote, "If my legislation, the SMART Act, was in place instead of current law, taxpayers would file a simple, self-explanatory return that's the size of a postcard." We'll add to that if we ever see a flat tax make it through Congress, we'll surely be able to spend any accountant savings on an Alabama lottery ticket. Some of you old-timers might remember student smoking areas at your high school. That was a whole nother world ago. We have a brand new shiny law in Alabama, signed this week by Governor Kay Ivey, that raises the minimum wage for buying tobacco, vaping devices, and e-cigarettes from 19 to 21. Reports AL.com's Mary Helene Hall. Now, the law really just gets the state in line with federal law that's been around a couple of years. And it also allows regulation that will try to keep advertisers from targeting people under 21. Thank y'all for listening. You know, this isn't an editorial comment, just an acknowledgement of the times. Nobody needs to smoke that old nasty stuff, but does anyone else think of the 20-year-old who was at anywhere from Quezon to Firebase Anaconda, and how they wouldn't be old enough to buy a cigarette now in Alabama because of the danger? They'd look at you like you were crazy. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, come on by and see us on the internet at al.com.